And welcome to another high vibe channeling session. This one is for July 2nd, 2026, featuring me, Ray Heitman. Well, not really featuring me, but I am bringing in the hybrid children who are excited and who have a message. And we'll see what else happens and hopefully a lot of Q&A so they can really enjoy those connections a little longer. And thank you all for coming and for watching. And don't forget to check out their book available on most online retailers, And the Children Shall Lead Us. It will definitely, it's a bottle of love which will give you hope for the future. And now I'm going to bring them in and you can sample them for yourself. Uncle Ray, you forgot to show the book. You forgot to show the book, but that's okay. We can pick it up and we can put it in there later. You can squeeze it in the video, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's always fine. It's flowing, it's flowing, it's flowing. And hearts are going and going and going. And we are surfing on the hearts of love. And we are coming to you so we can cheer you up and lift you up and get those resonances sky high so that we can come in even faster, so that you can lift up all of those beings who are around you, all of those conscious things, whether they are inanimate in your language or not, because they are all conscious. They all have feelings. They all wish to be respected. And you don't have to go around hugging everything, but it would be nice if you said that you loved things and you appreciated them, and not just people and animals and elementals and things of that nature, planets or whatever, but they've been everyday objects. And that is kind of what our subject was or is for today. And yes, we gave Uncle Ray a subject of connections because that is going to be a very good buzzword for all of you on your planet. And the reason is you are going to have the opportunity to explore deeper connections, which will have deeper meaning and open other doors and unveil more of yourself and your reality that you exist in, parts of it which you may not be aware of. And you will have to use discernment, because when you think about things, when you think about those connections, whether it be with your phone or your car or your neighbor or your children or your spirit beings, that will have more energy than it has in the past. So when you think about those things, be positive. Because if you start putting people or events in your mind which you do not approve of, which you are not loving and open-hearted and receptive to, then you will also energize those negative feelings. It is like, well, we won't say that too much is a good thing, but too much bad is not helpful. And we're using that term not in a judgmental way, but in a non-preferential way for you, because we know you all wish to be as happy as possible. You wish to lead fulfilling lives. You wish to be of service not only to yourself, but your higher realms and all around you. And you are always. You cannot help but to do that. But there are greater degrees of fulfillment which you can manufacture or manifest in your realm. And one of the ways is by exploring those connections which mean more to you, which excite you. So if you get connected by another being, whether it's in the dream state or daydreams, or through your channeling process or automatic writing, whatever it may be, then be excited about that. Start up a little conversation. Send, send some love energy. Spend some time exploring that just a little bit. Just by even saying, well, I really appreciate you. I'm glad we had this connection or this moment. And that will go deep into preserving that loving interest between you. So that is kind of our message, but we wish to expound on it a little bit more because all of you here in this particular session, you are all connected already. So we wish for you to mind think to each other how much you appreciate them being here tonight. And for us too. We're going to deepen those connections. We're going to help them find a home in your hearts. And even if they are there, they are going to become frequent visitors. You will have a guest room for them in your hearts. And that is important because you are building those connections, and that everyone you are connected to who is non human will be able to connect with all of those beings who you have tied to your hearts. So that will really help spread the love around your earth. That is one of the mechanisms which are in play to unify your entire planet into not, well, it will be a combined consciousness because it will be a unified effort of preserving and rebalancing and establishing harmony of your planet and taking care of every consciousness and helping it thrive. And that is one of the ways which it will happen because those beings who are extraterrestrials or maybe just energetic and never have form, they can help energize any one of you. And then that energy will automatically travel through your heart connections and uplift everyone who you are connected to. It is truly a connective network, like your telephone lines or that sort of thing, only this is happening through love lines. And it will be a grand event because once it happens, it will never start. Those cannot be severed in the higher vibrational realm, which you are bringing in, you are creating. You are co creating. And there are many, many energies who you may feel, but they are supporting you, not only in your dream states, giving you pep talks, but in your waking moments as well, helping arrange synchronicities, helping to make sure that you notice things which will have an impact on your future in your linear ways and on helping you flow and connect to the things which you desire. You have more help now than you have ever had in the history of your planet because you are on the cusp of a great change, moving from the mind and the overactive mind of conquest into the heart centered world of love quest. And that was a lot. That was a lot for us. But we got it all out. And the teachers are nodding their heads in their non-physical ways because they don't really respond to us the way that humans do, but they're making us respond so we can get used to doing it that way. And sometimes we forget because, hey, we haven't been at this for very long in terms of our lives because we had to learn how to interact and control and so many other variables and attend our schools and our lessons. But we are helpful in doing all of that to a higher degree of success, we will say. And we are progressing very nicely. Thank you for asking. And it will be a lot of fun. And hurry up so we can come and play. We want to play more. And now we will pause for this commercial break so you guys can ask questions. And yes, the fan is on. He had foresight today. So the sweating will not be so severe.
Hello to everyone.
Woo! Cat lady!
Yay. I would like to first apologize because last time I fell asleep when you came. But I'm awake now. Yes, and I wanted to tell you last time I thought you would like it because I was with a group of people and I had, these little things where you can blow bubbles, and I gave it to other people and we were doing all these bubbles and it was really nice. So there was a lot of play involved in our meeting, and I really enjoyed it because it's something that they consider to be something more for children, but I brought adults to do it, and I think it was very well received. Also by the ones watching it, not participating.
Happiness
So,
bubbles, take them back to their childhood.
yes,
Well done, well done. And play more, play more, play more. Take them with you wherever you go and just blow bubbles at everybody
yes,
because the children will like it. And the parents who aren't too crabby or overworked or too tired will like it too because their children will like it. But sometimes they just want them to be quiet, and that's a hard thing. I'm glad we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that at all. We can make as much non-physical noise as we want to. And we do practice that too. We practice making noise with our bodies because when we experience so much time in the non-physical, in our super holographic educational centers, we will call it, then we just sit still for the most part. Well, that's not really true. We still bounce around and we dance and we're doing other things physically while we're having our lessons. But we have to practice like clapping and that sort of thing, and shrugs and all of those physical responses. And we have a lot of fun with that. But humans have a lot of them. You guys make so many faces, and there are some similarities from one person to the next. Lots of shaking of the heads and disgusted faces, like when you smell something or you taste something that's icky. But those communicate a lot. But those are the nuances which we are picking up on. And then the teachers help us a little bit, but they don't really make the faces. They just show them to us. And we think they should make the faces too. But they just generally smile a lot. They're really not used to making frowny faces and that sort of thing. And I don't think they want to start. But that's okay too. And other people want to come in and speak. So I'm, I'm going to turn over the microphone. And if you have more questions, then bring it on because there are people here who want to connect with you.
oh, lovely. But have you also tried the rolling of the eyes? That's one of my favorite ones. Like,
Eyes roll a lot. Eyes
yeah,
roll a
that's a
lot.
funny
And
one.
they're very perceptive. And they are. They're not windows to the soul, they're souls to the window. And they are used for so much besides being the primary sense that you navigate your reality with. They hold so much emotion. And it's amazing that those little peepers can hold the fire of anger, can hold the grieving of great loss, can hold the tears of overflowing love into their hearts and out over their eyelids onto their cheeks. It is amazing that you can see so much because that's kind of like what we get to see in the non-physical before it manifests, or as it manifests, you might as well say, because we can see those different resonances and then we match it up with the eyes and the face and then the body postures and that sort of thing. And then we move forward and we move back to see exactly how that came about. So that's more of the mechanics of it. But the eyes are wonderful. And you have all seen people, and when you know that they're going to cry, your heart just leaps out to them because you want to comfort them. And that is wonderful too. And those are the types of things which happen, which really endear humans to many, many, many beings because that expression of love is unexpected. Not that it doesn't happen and not that they don't know that it will happen, but seeing it come to fruition in your unfolding of your time and seeing how those events play out, it is just a marvelous gift outside of your physical reality. It is one of the best things. And one of them told Uncle Ray, that is why we come, because he was overwhelmed with joy and he was having a special moment. And they let him in on that secret that when he gets overjoyed, they get overjoyed too, because they are celebrating the joy of every human who has those loving expressions on your planet and for astronauts off your planet. But that is part of it. And that is one of the things which are going to become mainstays on your planet for all of your humans. You will be able to look at another human and you will just automatically feel love and connection, and it will lift you up. And once you have that, the negativity will no longer be able to surface its ugly head. There will still be pockets because there are certain individuals, certain souls or soul groups who wish to experience more of the low vibrational behaviors in a high vibrational planet. And they want to see different variables. And we're not going to really go into that. But it's all an exploration. It's all a huge petri dish with billions of people in it. But so they will, and lots of different Earths too. But that's okay. But yes, so that will be one of the things that happens as well, because there are lots of different variations which can be put in, and those can be examined and learned from whatever the souls or the whatever organization or consciousness decides to put in. That was a lot.
Wow. Arla has a question.
We'll find out.
It is so good to feel your wonderful energy.
And
Um,
we have safeguards this time. So when Shining Star starts talking about the ancestor grandmothers, that we don't get too worked up. We're still getting worked up. So we're pushing on those safeguards. But please, go ahead.
okay, we know that there are many hybrid children already here who are connecting with various humans. They seem to be connecting with what you would call Earth children. Um, can you talk about what the outward or the visible appearance of this happening? Is that something that we will be able to see an actual difference in how people who are connecting with the hybrid children?
Well, that will depend on how observant you are, because most of those connections between the hybrid children and other children are in the dream state. And then when they see each other in the physical, something in them, and we're just going to leave it at something, gets activated for that connection. And they know that there's a happiness there. They know that there is love there. And they get to share that moment subconsciously. But in small children, it will bleed through into their reality and they will react. And that will, for some parents, it will cause a little bit of uncertainty because, you have a little girl and all of a sudden she wants to go up and she wants to run and hug this other teenager. And you're like, what's going on here? But you don't know about all those relationships. But if you trust them, you can still have your safeguard. But when you experience that, when you see that, and it will be an oh moment as far as you guys are concerned. But those will happen more and more and more. And you will see the hybrids, maybe they will wink or they will say, "Oh, what a lovely baby." And the baby will reach out and want to grab onto them. And that will be like, whoa, but that will become more and more normal. And I don't know, it's kind of scary for you guys, but you could leave your infant or your toddler with almost anybody in another 15 or 20 years, and you could go shopping and come back, and you might have a different person hanging on to your child, but you would have no worries at all because you know that they are in good hands. They are in the arms of love. And that is the extent of the unity on your planet. And those worries will fade. That will take some time because that has been ingrained for centuries with you humans. But those will fade rather quickly because you will learn to laugh at those absurdities, those worries, the anxiety. And there will still be some, I mean, it'll take longer to for infants to learn to be afraid of heights or to stop learning or understanding that they are afraid of heights because that will fade a little bit too. But the loud noises, that will still startle some, but they will be settled much faster because you will be able to communicate mind to mind with them and let them know and send them reassuring thoughts and let them know that they are okay. And we are we are not as familiar with this language thing. And that is one of the reasons why we have come forth, so we can practice a little bit more. And all of these lessons, all of these sessions, they are all well orchestrated on our end so that each of the children get the lessons and the experience that will help them on their particular missions. So at times we may lose our way and we may search for words and we may not be extremely grammatically correct all of the time and throw in different words which may not fit as well. But we are glad we are not getting a grade from an English teacher, just from our teachers. And thank you. We hope that that answered your question. And yes, you are nodding. So it answered your question. And that is a good
Yes,
thing.
it did. And it's just like this is going to be a huge visual manifestation of this. And you definitely answered my question. So thank you.
It will be like you see people and it will be like you have an inside joke with them because you just have that knowing, like you see somebody and you know what they're thinking, and then you both laugh about it, and there's no words spoken. And that will be commonplace. That will be a joy to witness and an even bigger joy to experience. And many other beings will be experiencing with you. Many beings who have never had a physicalized conscious exploration will be piggybacking with many, many humans, with permission, of course, so that they can get a feel for it. And then maybe they will take that plunge into density. Maybe not, but at least that will be a learning exploration for all. And we do mean all. You guys are helping Source in a very fine way, which is why you came. Congratulations. The wheels are turning, but nothing's coming out.
You
Maybe you're all
mentioned
doing silent prayers.
um, you mentioned connections in dreams. And I remembered, when I was a child, I had a dream that somebody picked me up with a car. And when I think back, I think that wasn't like a car. And I think I was on a ship because when I woke up, I was really, really happy. Um,
Well, you
I
can
don't
be
know.
in on that. As long
Huh?
as it makes you happy, then that is fine. But we got the impression that it was another you and you were tapping into a different life. But as long as it makes you happy, then go with it, go with it, go with it. Flush it out. Draw all of that energy into you, into your now moment.
Thank you. Yes.
Happy's where it's at.
Yes.
It's where
So,
love gets to stay.
so how many of you are participating now
Participating in what?
in speaking?
Ooh, well, we're not going to give names, but
Mm.
there were a group of 3 or 4 which came in earlier, and now we are. Teacher says 6, but there are more who are waiting and watching. But we do not believe that they will get turns because there is not enough interaction here for everybody who on our end to get the kind of exposure that would help them. And they're all tapping into our minds and they're all tapping into Uncle Ray's mind. And they're coordinating lots of different variables. And there are watchers here too. There are always watchers because they are very interested in these sessions. They are very interested in seeing how the leading edge of creating open contact unfolds. Because there are billions of people on your planet who do not believe that extraterrestrials are coming, let alone that they exist. But you guys do. And you have lots of other energies and beings who are riding on your coattails, who are becoming aware because you keep talking about it.
Mm.
You keep mentioning things, and it's making them wonder. And then when they see things or they hear other people who they trust talk about those things, then it will snowball and it will become a very fine topic of conversation. We are quite some ways away from it becoming a viral worldwide communication, but that will happen too. By the end of next spring, it will be on many, it will be on more than 1 billion minds. And that will really help speed things up. Because once you move past the what if to I know, then things really start to happen. You guys are already over the hump. You're just barely getting started on the downhill run, but you're going to be zoom, 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 zooming and lots of fun. And hold on to your hats, but we
Right.
can go back and get them later.
Okay, first, big hello to everyone, all the ones that don't get to speak. Hello, hello to everyone around. Hello.
Happiness.
Um,
And thank you,
in
and thank you,
fact,
and thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. They're doing a thank you dance. Ooh, interesting.
I wonder what Uncle Ray will say about this later. But I agree totally that it snowballs because, like all the people that I know of,
Oh, he's
they
watching.
totally.
He's watching all of the craziness. We're giving him some mental pictures. He is developing his telepathy. So he gets actual pictures. And he was correct that they were actually mimicking different conceptual phrases or symbolisms with their body when they were dancing. So they were talking with their dance. Talk about interpretive dance. This is communicative dance. And they were all acting so silly. You had arms and legs flying everywhere, and they were augmenting that with their brain power. And they were communicating that as well. And it was a lot of fun. It still is a lot of fun, but they have settled down somewhat now so that they can listen to how this is explained and how it comes out to you guys. And they all say thank you, thank you, thank you for being part of their education, for being part of their learning, for being part of their fun, for giving them something else to concentrate on and learn from. Because all of these are dissected in very intense and intimate ways. And so many different variables are not only explored, but researched and thrown into other events. We will call them moments, perhaps, for you guys. But so we can compare and contrast how they differ from one to the other, and then look at the energetic resonance and the events or moment points which brought them forth. So we can see why this one's different than this one, and this one's different from this one, and what the similarities are, because that's important. It's like being able to read sheet music. If you know what they all of the notes are and you know what they sound like, you don't need to hear it. You can play it in your mind just by reading the notes.
Mhm.
Well, we're looking at the electronic resonances outside of your physical reality, and we're matching them up to the facial features and that kind of thing. So we are hearing the notes and we are picturing the sheet music on your faces, so to speak. We hope that was a good analogy.
Yeah, it was fab. Thanks.
We brought that up on our own. We're going to get high marks. Woohoo! Extra treats for everybody. Not that we get marks, but we just use that because it translates well for humans, at least the older humans. Some might say, who's Mark? Okay, we're going to wind down. You know what happens when you don't keep us wound up? We wind ourselves up. And the teachers have indicated that this is coming to a close, and they are so nice about it. But we will go and we will learn and we will come back and we will stay in your hearts forever and on your planet forever and ever. And we will bring forth the new generations of humans, Homo Galacticus, coming right up to a planet near you. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, that dance was crazy. Oh, yeah, I'd never be able to explain that because it
Their
wasn't.
energy. Oh my gosh, their energy. It just, it's infectious.
And I can't explain that to people. I keep saying, show up. Show up and you can feel it.
Mm.
It just brings something out in us. Obviously, it brings something out in me. Yeah.
It
They were
is.
they- when they were dancing, they were moving their body to represent symbols, and not in English, but in another language. And then where their arms or legs wouldn't connect to make the full symbol, they were throwing in a connective mental connection. Like if you wanted to make an O and you could only do this, well, they would fill in the parts between your fingers with something else. And they were doing it all so fast. So it looked like they were all just spasming and doing that stuff, but it was changing so quickly. And it was hilarious. They were all laughing. Although none of them were laughing out loud, they were all laughing mentally.
Mhm.
So I would imagine they'll get talked to, well, not talked to, but talked with about that.
But
Um,
we all need to laugh
mhm.
mentally and within ourselves. I mean, when you can relate to that, which it's just who they are, that you can be dancing and appear to be totally still.
And they were,
And sometimes it's good for us to laugh inside and not out loud because some people could get offended and cats can get offended as well, when they do something really silly and then you laugh and they really get offended. So I'm like when sometimes Pamuk rolls off and falls in a really clumsy way and I'm like inside like ha 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 and I'm like
I'm
Yes.
familiar. And hello, Heidi. Yeah, like when something falls and the cats don't expect it, and then all of a sudden they try to run away and they're stepping on papers and they're like, ah, ah, I'm moving, but I'm not going anywhere. And then they're like, I meant to do that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm always open for a conversation about cats or pets.
How many cats do you have?
No, just the one. It's a stray cat.
Oh,
Just the one that adopted us.
okay. Yeah, naturally, I don't have any. There are ferals around, but yeah, that would be a bit too crowded in our household. A little bit too much chaos.
Here too.
It wouldn't
It's
last.
been,
It wouldn't last long, but
yeah.
I'm not in favor.
Yeah, she's supposed to be with us. You could just tell. You can tell those cats that adopt you or those
Yeah,
pets
Mhm.
that adopt you. You can tell when they're supposed to be there.
and in the
She's supposed to
future,
be
we'll
here.
know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
How come you picked me? Oh, really? I'm so looking forward to that because, we all know that we have access to all of the information, but our beliefs and our vibration and relevancy keep us from reeling all of that in. And that's all going to be removed. It's wonderful. And when they were talking about our connections, they didn't want to harp on those negative thoughts. But if you think bad about somebody, especially somebody who you are close to, and you say, well, I hope you die or something like that, and they were like, you don't know the harm and that you're going to do with those connections because you're so powerful. It would be like, you're trying to pull a punch and you're just trying to tap somebody on the arm and you end up punching them really hard because you don't know your own energetic strength anymore. I think that's what they were trying to get to. But the people, but the young lads or ladies who were explaining it were doing the best they could. That was a new thing for them. That I don't know that they had really connected in that singular level like they were doing. So, but it's the the planning and the execution of all of these sessions amazes me because we just view it as, hey, we're just connecting with loving beings. But on their end, they have specific goals, and the teacher's picking out who gets to do what and when, and they're getting feedback and they're getting information in their heads while they're coming through. It's wonderfully complex. And everything now is going to be part of their second book. I know that. So they're actually giving this new information to put in the book. And in the session yesterday, they gave the title as More Revelations of the Hybrid Children. And they said, well, I don't know if that's going to be the title or not, but they saw how I reacted. They said, but this guy really likes it. And it's catchy. So
Yeah.
especially if they get the first book. And if they didn't, they'll say more revelations. I need the first book.
Mhm. It's a nice word, has a lot in it.
Hey, it'll flow. It
You
will.
know, they there was something interesting said about the dance. When I'm immersed in light language, there are times I dance light language. And I know that I don't have to be standing up, moving to do that. But it's like when I have movement going, and I thought about videoing myself when I'm doing that to see if I could see those symbols, those
Oh,
movements that depict the light language. So it's just something that's been mulling around in my head, kind of. And then for that to be talked about in that dancing, that was exactly what I thought of.
yeah. That's very interesting. And I was laughing because as soon as you started to speak, the teachers were all over the hybrid children. We're not doing this again. We're not putting all of that energy into Uncle Ray. And they were like, okay, they were cowered down. They're like, okay, I know we have safeguards, but we have to behave ourselves. We have to be on our best behavior. Because it did get a little bit out of hand last time when they came through. I guess that was the 18th when I was in Colorado, when I thought I was going to blow up.
But you could immerse yourself in that energy. I know, because there are times when I'm picking it up and I'm wanting to do this, and so I'm sitting here listening and connecting to it, but that energy begs to show it,
Yeah.
So
Yep. It was just my ego got a little freaked out because it was more energy than what had ever come through before. So, once it eclipses all previously known boundaries, it's in a place of uncertainty. So it wants to pull back. But it was reassured and it ended up being fine. I enjoy it all. I know I'm safe. So